What do you think about the Mortal Kombat movie, Steve? Go check out our full review on Yo Video Games YouTube. We all said our piece about that movie on there. But if you want my personal opinion, you gotta come over and sit on my lap. Man, though, I can't help but feel the movie has a major disappointment. If the best we can say was at least it wasn't Annihilation. That's the problem. The bar is so low. The bar is so low. Ow, ow, ow. The bar is so low. There isn't that many fighting game movies that we can all say, "Oh my god, that was the best thing ever." You know, like legit. Our fighting game movies were like Tekken and King of Fighters and Dead or Alive and, you know, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like legit. Fighting game movies haven't been the best. They don't have a great track record. We should be happy that we got Mortal Kombat 1 for as far as like live action fighting game movies. And then of course Street Fighter movie is, you know, top notch. Okay? Yo, where's Dame? Dame, get on Discord. I wonder if she's on PS4. I can chat with Dame, or I could play some Mortal Kombat with Dame so she can kick my ass. Notara was there for that Kung Lao hat. Exactly, that was it. And we said this before the flockers came over, is that we were saying that the reality is that there are a lot of characters that were just there to get fatality. There was no reason for them to be there. Notara, Cabal, even though he had some dialogue, he was just there to get fatality. Nobody cared. Rico was probably the worst out of them all. Rico was just there to get fatality. Reptile was just there just to get fucked up. And I think there was like another one that was just there to just get bopped. I would say Melina too, but Melina was there for eye candy and just to get fatality. That was the only point of her. Like, there was no other reason for her to be there. Oh, she's in there? Okay, I'm not... Here we go. Wait, hello, there you go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, oh, there she is. All right, sweet. All right, let me see. All right, sweet. All right, so,
yes.
you gave it... I actually didn't see your score. What was your overall score? Out of 10.
As a video game movie, I will give it an 8 out of 10. I gotta upload my video tomorrow.
Yeah.
But as a regular movie, like Hollywood, blockbuster, blah, 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 I have to give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10 as well when we did the review. The chat was rough. They said 5. They said 5 or 6 out of 10. I mean, I don't think... do you really think it was that bad? Like, it had its moments. It was...
It had its moments. Based off of the trailers, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Right?
action.
Yo, they were selling that moment. They
were.
Yeah, and
the poster boys of the franchise.
And
you know,
I kind of knew they were gonna deviate from that when they introduced Cole in the trailers, and I'm like, okay, so they have this random guy who isn't part of the series. We're gonna see where they go with that, but I know it's gonna be mainly about Scorpion and Sub-Zero, because that was legit the entire trailer. So we're like, okay, we get it. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be pretty dope. So when we got a little bit of Scorpion and a little bit of Sub-Zero and a lot of Cole, it was like, oh,
it was Cole and the combatants.
Hey, and I said it before. I said this movie should be called Kano featuring the Mortal Kombat cast, because
oh god, I love Kano. He
right?
Was the best
Yeah, like he knocked it up.
Oh my god.
It's funny because they tried to make Cole the audience, like Cole was representing the audience, but it turned out to be Kano who was representing the audience, because he was the one that was flipping out about, yo, look at these powers, what the fuck is that? Like, well, why do you have this? Like, he was the one that was actually freaking out.
I need to do that fire thing.
Yeah, right? Like, he was the one that was actually having fun with it. So, the fact that they made Cole the audience, yet the audience was kind of... What did you think of Cole? Like, how about that? Like, what did you think of actually Cole?
I mean, I thought... He was basically like Johnny Cage's role in the movie, like just Johnny Cage, I guess 2.0, except like a MMA fighter.
Yeah. Right, and you noticed that he was doing MMA moves like all through the thing, so I was like, oh,
grapples and all of that in the beginning,
like,
the arm bar, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fight sequences, and as I said, he just came in. And I think it was like in the middle towards the end. All of a sudden, he was the leader of the group, and he was telling everybody what to do.
Right, yo, when they
and...
went into the void, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna go left, and I'm gonna go right, and then you're gonna go up, and then I'm gonna go down. You guys go, all right, ready?
And then,
Great."
And then Raiden is like, "Sounds good. Wow,
Yeah, all right.
How am I gonna think of that?"
I mean, I've only been here for thousands of years. I know you know what to do. I'll let you take care of it.
Yeah, okay. And I'm thinking like, I mean his chest plate armor. I mean it was fine. I mean if I was Goro, I probably would have hopefully recognized
that chest
like
plate. Oh.
I'm just gonna grab his head and just go pop it like a grape or something.
Bro, okay, I'm sorry. The chest plate was killing me because it was from the power
rubbery.
of love of his daughter into a bracelet that became his power, and then all of a sudden Tonfas came out. And I'm like, yeah,
like
this...
a tonfa and a blade.
Yeah, like,
And he kicked his ass so easy, man.
Yeah, no,
really?
Goro didn't stand a chance because, I mean, you do realize that tonfas and blades are his weakness. Like, that's lore. Like, he can't handle... That's...
Oh, I must have missed that.
No, yeah, that's been in Mortal Kombat lore for years now. Yeah, like if there's if anybody has a tonfa,
just so pronounced.
Yeah. I mean, Ed Boon had mentioned that one time during a press conference, and then to me privately. Yeah, he said that. Did you guys know that a tonfa that's made out of the love of a daughter is the one thing that's like Goro's biggest weakness? And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. And I was like, wow. And that was the end of the conversation.
I had no idea. Like, how do I get myself a bracelet?
You gotta have the power of the love of that particular daughter. Yeah, you have to have the love of that daughter. So yeah.
Dang it.
Do you have a tattoo on you? You have to have a Mortal Kombat tattoo. I don't know. Damn.
That's another
Damn,
thing.
that's gonna be rough. See, that's the problem. Jeez.
Damn it.
You're gonna have to kill somebody with the tattoo. You know what? I actually liked Sonya. I actually liked Sonya in that movie too. She was actually pretty cool.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she was cool.
For sure. I loved her in the movie. I
Jax
think she was fantastic.
Jax was cool. He was pretty straightforward.
Jax. Okay.
The
only thing I didn't like the Arcana and his power.
Right?
Was he a transformer?
Oh, see, okay. That's the crazy thing, though, is that
that's it,
right? Okay, so that's the crazy thing is that the powers themselves wasn't consistent. You either had powers of the tattoo that gave you mystical powers for Liu Kang, or it gave you robotic powers for Jax, which made what? How is it that he gets the robotic armor?
Yeah, forget the cybernetics. Forget, you know what? We're just gonna not introduce Cyber Lin Kuei in the next movie. No,
right?
It's gonna be just all magic tattoos.
So it gives the power of the hat to Kung Lao. It gives the power of robotics to Jax, and then for Cole, it literally gives him plot armor. I love it. It gives him the power of plot armor. It was the greatest thing ever. I'm like, you know what? This works. This works. They could have done without the Arcana and the tattoos and everything like that, and just gave the characters their powers. It would have been fine.
And I don't think they really had to explain it. I mean,
didn't need to.
Nowadays, like what you see in movies, like you don't have to spoon feed us like how 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah,
really? I had no idea. Wow.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we know where they get their powers from. It's just from years of training under the mystical arts. Cool.
Exactly.
You do that.
That's it.
And they're like, nah, we need to explain their powers. I'm like, okay, then we'll just go with that and see where it goes. Oh, it didn't go well. Oh no. Oh jeez. And you had characters like Kano who still made it fun to throw out eye beams, lasers out of his eyes and stuff. And
he was so happy.
Yeah, he was like, he was a kid in a candy store with that. Like that was
laser. I beat your fireball.
Yo, you're doing that accent better than 90% of the people out there.
That's about it, man. I'm trying to go for that Kano wins. You fucking beauty. I love it. I'm still waiting for the Kano comics.
Oh man. God. I'm still waiting for them to do justice to Reptile. What happened there? What's going on with Rico? What was going on with Melina? What was happening?
I mean, it looked like Melina just ate a big chocolate cake and it was like all over her mouth.
She spread jam. She spread like strawberry jam on her face.
I love smelly.
And she's like, I gotta have more. It's so delicious. And you're like, oh my god.
And she just never washed her face.
Ever. And I'm like,
That's
I'm like,
kid,
why
wash
is
your
this?
face.
Why is she not wearing a mask? Like, what? How is it? It's a Melina who's supposed to be, an assassin. She's a ninja assassin without the mask. What? Again, weird design decisions on some of the parts. Like you said, the costumes were good. The costumes, especially for Cabal, were really cool.
I love Cabal, and I honestly like the way how he sound. I just wish we had more time with him, and especially seeing the interaction between him and Kano. I do love that.
Yeah.
I wish we saw more.
They had one scene together, and it was over. And that was it.
Yeah. Okay, fatality.
And
Bye.
you're dead. And both of you're dead after that.
You're dead.
And
Same
both
thing like
of
with Natara. Like, why? Why introduce her?
What was the? Why was she in the? Why was he in the story? Why was Rico in the story? They were there to get murdered. That was the whole point.
That was it.
That was they were there to get
rid of
murdered.
people.
Hey, you know what? It's eye candy. It's what's it called? What's the word?
She was just wearing a
service.
t-shirt, pants, and wings.
Yeah. I didn't.
She got sliced in half like you go to a freaking deli counter.
I had no remorse when she died. I was like, cool. At least she had her moment in the
Get
sun.
her out of here.
She was there.
I like the way how she looked more in Scorpion's Revenge.
Yeah.
I think they did more justice there than the actual movie. But as I said, I don't hate it.
Right.
But I don't love it.
Yeah.
Will I watch the next one? Oh, hell yeah.
Of course. We gotta see how well what they do with this afterwards, if it gets the justice it deserves in the box office, and they make enough money to warrant a second one. I
hope so. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do, because I only want the best for the franchise.
Sure.
You know?
We don't want the movie to be bad, and I say that all the time. I don't want these movies to be bad. Like, I don't want to shit on these movies and be like, oh, this is so terrible, and oh my god, like, dude, I don't want that. I want the movies to be good. I want to enjoy it.
I don't want them to take off their pants and crap all over it. You know, I don't.
Right. Exactly.
I want them to make a well-made, competent movie, like video game movie, and just take like the money grab out of it and just give something that the fans have grown to love over the years, that they've invested emotionally with, and just put it on screen, man. And that's it.
And like I said, I see this movie as an homage to Mortal Kombat, as far as visuals, gore, and the cussing and the theme. But as far as story, they kind of dropped the ball on that, and I guess that's something they would probably have to work on. But overall, it's still a decent movie in its own right. Like you said, as a fan, 8 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yes, as a fan, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Improvements? Oh, yes.
Improvements? Yeah.
Yes. Like I wasn't like the writing. I'm like, what? Why? Oh, I fatality you! I'm like, yeah, no, I get the idea, Liu Kang. You kill Cabal, but you don't really have to.
What did you think of Liu Kang?
They really didn't do much with him. I like the actor.
Yeah,
but they didn't. He wasn't the leader that we all know.
Yeah. And the same
he was
thing.
Just a sidekick to.
Right? Like he was just there. Same thing with Shang Tsung.
He existed.
Shang Tsung just seemed like he was just there. Hey, I'm the bad guy. I'm gonna do bad guy things, and I'm sort of evil, kind of, because I'm gonna make sure that I stop you guys. And they need somebody charismatic like the original actor from Mortal Kombat, and he had a way about him where he made Shang Tsung just the devilish, the uptight, not even uptight, but he had this he was better than you kind of vibe to him, which
it's a superiority.
So superiority type of vibe to him that made Shang Tsung, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a piece of shit. But this Shang Tsung was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna read these lines, and then I'm gonna collect my check. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, cool. I'm done. That's what it just kind of felt like the entire way through of him just doing that whole Shang Tsung vibe. He wasn't frightening. He wasn't intimidating. He was
that went to Sub-Zero.
Right? Yo.
Oh god,
okay.
those eyes, man.
Okay, so the two 10 out of 10
into your soul.
to the two 10 out of 10 characters, Sub-Zero, Kano, 100%. They knocked it out of the park.
Easily.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun
Joe
watching.
did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching those two characters just do their thing. And you could tell that Kano was just ad-libbing 90% of the stuff that he was just doing, and it was glorious. Like, give us more Kano.
I think there was an article stating that too. Like, he was like, I'm just gonna go with this.
Yeah, right? Like, he was making a new character. Like, do you think Johnny Cage is gonna, can actually, top that if they do a sequel with Johnny Cage? Because...
I mean, at the end, there's that hint that that's who they're going to see.
See, right? Exactly.
I don't know who they're gonna cast though. I think you gotta find the right actor.
You gotta find a good guy to knock it out of the park as well as he did.
Yeah, because if you do that wrong, ooh, people are gonna be so pissed.
It's gonna be hard to top that.
Because people are already upset that he wasn't in this movie.
Right.
And just giving his role to an unknown guy.
Zinister says Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds as Johnny Cage would be glorious.
I think he can pull that off.
He could
People
totally
were saying
pull that
The
off.
Miz from WWE.
Oh, okay.
And I think there was a picture of it, and Ed Boon was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
I don't know how are his acting chops, though.
Yeah.
But Ryan Reynolds, I can see him doing that role.
Yeah, he would knock it out of the park. I'm all for that.
John Cena.
What?
Put John Cena in the chat. What?
What? Is that a UK
No. If I mentioned it before, if John Cena's gonna be in it, he has to be Striker.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
100%.
Easily.
I think this movie could potentially make enough money to pull off everything that it needs to do to become
Yeah,
a
you just
sequel.
gotta hire writers.
Yeah, they just gotta. Yeah, that. I mean,
I don't think this has he done anything else?
the Wonder Woman. They said that he was. Well, the writer was.
The main writer, though.
Yeah, the main writer.
Like,
No, I don't know. I don't know
uh,
anything about that. Yeah.
The script doctor or something like that, and it was like Wonder Woman 84. I'm like, oh well, okay.
Yeah. I have no idea. I don't know what he's done outside of that. Chris Pratt. Ooh, Chris Pratt as.
I will put him above the Miz.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Yeah,
that's.
I just don't know his acting chops. For
Yeah.
The Miz. To carry a big role like that you don't want to piss off people.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility, man. You gotta fill in those shoes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think for a lot of the times this movie took itself a little too seriously, especially with Liu Kang and with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And then if they did the Scorpion and Sub-Zero thing, that means that there's it felt like there's no room for Quan Chi outside of that. So like, how do you fit in Quan Chi when we know that Sub-Zero is the one that is the main villain in this? I mean, it's nice that they're setting up for him to be Noob Sabat, which is cool.
Yes.
That's really cool, I guess.
I can see that, unless that's how they bring in Quan
Chi,
somehow.
you're right, because if you have Noob Sabat, you have to have Quan Chi. Like, that's...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be it, and
Yeah.
then...
I mean,
Yeah.
but then again, you already had Scorpion in the Netherrealm with no Quan Chi, so it was just him in the Netherrealm, and they just put that in there.
I mean, we didn't even get to see him really in... Come on. He was
Yeah,
like
we
5
saw him for
seconds.
like 10 minutes at the end, and then at the beginning.
I don't know how much screen time. I don't know if somebody can time it if they watch the movie again. Can you actually like stop watch like how
Because
long
he
actually
was the big time actor, so he was probably paid the most, so they had to shorten his amount of screen time. I'm guessing. Yeah, because that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did a good job as Scorpion in my opinion, but just the fact that he didn't get that much screen time was a little disheartening. But if they only have a budget, you gotta take that into consideration. And everything else could have been done better with better writing, and the rest of it was eye candy. for fatalities and cussing and
That's why I'm saying it's a very stylized film. Like everything just looks beautiful. Like if you were to take a picture at a certain scene, I mean, you can freaking mount that on the wall and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful film.
I would say that the Outworld just kind of looked like the Nevada desert, like because they were in Outworld and there was like, is this really Outworld or is this in actual desert that you're just hanging out, as opposed to the what is it, the Mortal Kombat movie that you could actually tell this was Outworld, and
they really take you to a different world.
Yeah, it takes you to a different world, and you can see that this is completely different. Like the sky is different, like the atmosphere is completely different. But with this one, it kind of felt like it was oh yeah, this is a desert. But when you get to like the set designs of Sub-Zero, when he traps Jax in the set piece in the warehouse, it's so sick. It's so sick. And,
oh no, it's like a freaking winter wonderland in there.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, and
I'm just looking up the writers for this, like on IMDb. It's Greg Russo. I don't see him doing. I think this is his first project.
Really? Well then,
I think. I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't. Obviously, I'm not. Deep research or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
IMDb.
Yeah.
I think this is his first thing. Based
yeah,
off
Outworld
of
was an abandoned coal mine in Australia. I'm sure. Scorpion makes a small appearance and has a fight scene in the movie and dies, and no one complains about the first film. No, not really. So you got to put that in his perspective as well. I think there's a lot to be a lot of things that they can fix, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that they did right. So we can all take it as it is right now and appreciate what they have. Just like with Kenny appreciates what they were able to put together.
Exactly.
And I can too. I just wish that they put a little bit more effort into the writing. And
yes. I think if they would have done that, it would have been a better.
It would have been way better.
Yeah,
and me personally, I can't be the guy that's like, oh well, at least we got this, like if.
And I'm like, I don't want to be like that. Well, at least we have the movie finally.
Right? Like, nah, I'm gonna be like, look, they could have done better. They should do better. Let's express that so that they know they can do better, as opposed to us just being complicit. And be like, oh well, thanks guys. We really like, hey, you know what? If you're gonna make a Mortal Kombat,
shut up.
Like if you're gonna do a Mortal Kombat movie, do it right. Otherwise, you're gonna hear our mouths, and you don't want to hear that. So make a better effort to do a movie with a better storyline. And sure, give us all the fatalities you want, because you know what? You knocked that out of the park with that. And give us more Kano. You knocked that out of the park with that. Give us Sub-Zero. You guys are fantastic with that.
I hate the way how he died though, Kano, but
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see if Johnny Cage does a better job if part 2 comes out. And
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the other writer, Dave Callahan, best known for Wonder Woman 84.
Yep. And
okay, so he's also part of Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
What is it? Jean-Claude Van Johnson and Godzilla in 2014.
Let's just think about that. Huh. Interesting.
Very interesting, though.
You know what? Hey, these people are writers for a reason. They got their spots. I'm not gonna, shit on somebody's career. I mean,
no.
If they're writers for, a reason. I just wish they might have written something else.
I think, Kenny, I think if they just would have done a better job with the writing, they were just spoon feeding us a lot of things that or needing to explain things that really don't need to be explained.
Right. They are. I guess they were trying to appeal to the audience outside of Mortal Kombat fans, which is fine. But
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it, and make a good plot armor that makes sense. If you're outside of the Mortal Kombat community and you see that plot of the Hakuna or Hakuna Matata and tattoos going off, you and the rest of the fans are like, what is going on?
Yeah, like tattoos, magic tattoos.
Magic tattoos. Hey, guess what? They had magic tattoos in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Look how well that turned out. They had magic tattoos.
This gives me strength.
Right? It's my secret power. You know what? Kenny has a Mortal Kombat tattoo. I wonder if it gives him secret powers.
Kenny, what are your powers?
Yes, Kenny, what is your powers? Is it dreadlocks? You have a Mortal Kombat tattoo. Oh god, stay away from that too. If they do a sequel, drop the tattoos. Let's do that. Like, let's just.
I want them to make a good movie. I want them to like show the world, like even outside of just being a video game movie. Like, I want them to win awards, man.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a great story, like from beginning to end, like in the video game, like history. It's a wonderful story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scorpion
So,
wins.
like, it had potential. It had potential. And
I hate that because you have people that would be like, oh, this movie is terrible. There's no way you can make a good Mortal Kombat movie. There's no way you can make a good Mortal Kombat movie. And you're like, they can. They just need good writing. It has potential. And you can't explain it to people because they need to see it. And it's rough because you can't defend it when you have Annihilation and this. You're like, damn it.
we don't speak of that.
We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
It doesn't exist.
No, I've never heard of it. Annihilation. Oh, wow.
That
Sounds like something upcoming. Yeah, it sounds great.
Oh, God, the editing was awful.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, Dame. This is
Thank you
awesome.
for having me.
Indeed. That is Dame Falcon and my opinion on the movie thus far. Maybe there's some things we haven't noticed that might be really cool, and things that we've probably overlooked or something like that. But for the most part, it had potential. I love that. This movie was good and it had potential. And if they decide to make a sequel,
I would be so happy to watch it.
Yeah,
I will. Because I only want the best.
Exactly.
Really
yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want it to be bad.
I don't. I want people to appreciate it too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, Dame. Thank you for being here. Have a great night. Get some sleep.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
Gracefully bow out.